So I invite you all to read this book, The Tiger's Paws, enjoy it, and roar in life, roar with a lot of enthusiasm, dynamism, and also pause in between for a little bit of meditation every day. Yeah, that's The Tiger's Paws for me.
Today we're speaking with Swami Virupaksha's The Tiger's Paws. It's the untold story of Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar's peace effort in Sri Lanka. Swamiji served in Sri Lanka for 9 years as a key member of Gurudev's conflict resolution team during and after the country's war-torn days. Over the past 22 years, Swamiji has been working on delivering many humanitarian initiatives that serve all sections of society. He has trained lawmakers, heads of states, the clergy, the national cricket team, war refugees, educationists, college students, and he has brought people together in the spirit of voluntary service. So first of all, Swamiji, namaste, a very warm welcome.
Namaste.
Swamiji, when you wrote this book, tell us, why did you feel it was very important, especially for the common person, to understand the story?
It's been about 12 years since the war is over now in Sri Lanka. So as you may know, that there was a civil war in Sri Lanka between the liberation tigers of Tamil and popularly known as the Tamil Tigers, and the majority Sri Lankan government, which comprised largely the Sinhalese Buddhists. So I decided to write this book to take the lid off the myths, the lies, the conspiracies that were there when the Art of Living and Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankarji was working there to bring peace in Sri Lanka during the last phase of the war. So this book purely is a definitive collection of adventures, of facts, and of the truth. And I wanted people to know this now, because it just happened that during the lockdown, I said, let me pen this all down before it's too late. And I wrote it all down, and I said, people must know what happened behind the scenes there during the war. What happened behind the scenes during the conflict resolution process of Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankarji.
A lot of people are hailing this book, though, as a transformational. It's almost an educational book, that what can be used to learn about conflict resolution. And as we look at the world today, we are seeing so many areas of conflict. So what do you think are those 2-3 key lessons in conflict resolution that we can glean from here?
Yeah, the book also, The Tiger's Paws, also carries a lot of life lessons for us. The first I would say is on the skills, the techniques to handle conflict. Now, all of us face conflict at some level or the other. Sometimes we are facing conflict with ourselves. It is a possibility, isn't it? It's a human possibility. You're facing conflict within yourself sometimes. You're facing conflict with your neighbor, with your boss at work, with your company that you work with, or maybe with some family members at home. So conflict could be at any level you may imagine, but then there are certain fundamentals in handling conflict resolution. So I would say The Tiger's Paws does give many insights and wisdom into the ability and skill to handle conflicts. Yeah, number one. The second point why I would say one would need to read and enjoy the Tiger's Paws book is you get to see Gurudev's various dimensions. How, in spite of obstacles, in spite of dirty conspiracies, in spite of prejudices and bias against him, how he overcame all that and still went ahead and dealt with the situation. Yeah. So I've put a lot of unknown details in this book, which will make it very interesting for you. And the third point that I would say you need to read this book is today people are wary about the possibility of peace, the potential of peace. Yeah,
we are
people,
very scared because we are not seeing it. We are seeing a world of conflict.
absolutely. You know, people are war weary today. You know, people do not know what to do in terms of the war that's happening in several regions, in several parts. So another angle of this book is it puts a person at peace when you read the solutions there as to how to handle the worries, the tensions, and the anxieties of also a war, a conflict.
But Swamiji, I will ask, because a lot of us, I mean, we know the current crisis that's going on between Russia and Ukraine, but have we all just tuned out? Has war become such a thing that we are no longer kind of it? I mean, I remember maybe we used to start our day with it, and now maybe once a week I check up on what's happening.
Sukriti, let's accept the fact that war and peace is a fact of life. Okay? These are opposites. There are opposites in nature. Yeah, it is a cycle. Look, now there is an upswing in an economy in any country at a certain point in time, and it reaches such a peak that after a point there is a certain downswing also. In every part of the world, in every economy, you face it. It is part of nature. Yeah?
So will we ever have peace, Swamiji?
Yeah, I'm going to come.
Peace as this vision that we want.
Yeah. Let me come to your wonderful question. It's $1 billion question you're throwing.
Trillion dollar question.
Yeah, it's $1 billion question you're throwing at me. So let me tell you, first is we need to accept that there are opposites in nature. There are opposites in creation. That's the first thing one needs to accept. So when you accept that, yeah, there are opposites, there are going to be bad times, there are good times. When we know there are opposites, the trick here is how do you go beyond these opposites? How do you transcend the opposites? Now, there is a possibility over here. You want to know the answer?
Yes, I do, because I'm struggling with this question.
Yeah. I need to tell you that one needs to appreciate and learn and know that peace is central to every single being. It is there in animals also. If you see, look at animals, for example. Do they go on attacking every other animal? Not at all, isn't it? So there is a part of them where there is peace. There is a center within them where there is peace, isn't it? Have you seen the lion or the tiger just,
they'll just
stretching away? Yeah, absolutely. There you got the body language right. So that shows an element of peace in every single thing in nature. Even in a storm, the center of a storm also has a certain element of peace. What you see on the circumference on the outside is the entire drama, the soap opera, yeah, the conflict, yeah, the disagreements, the fights. Yeah. Now that goes on outside. If one is able to understand that, hey, there is a part inside me which is peaceful also. And when you touch upon it every day, Sukriti, let me tell you, I promise you, you will know that your very nature is peace. And you may ask me, Swamiji, how do you do that? I would suggest the techniques of meditation, the techniques of yoga are the best possible techniques that are available to mankind today. And we have to learn and employ these techniques. That is when we are able to handle the situations in front of us. Look, it is sunny all over India today. Yeah, it is summer. Yeah, correct. You cannot do anything about it, isn't it? You cannot go and shift the sun, or you cannot bring a cloud, isn't it? So what can you do? So you use either an umbrella, you use your coolers, you use your sunglasses, yeah, you use a screen, isn't it? Yeah, you use your what do you call it? Your SPF 60, sunscreen. Yeah, you use all those. Don't you do that? So I would urge people, I invite people to learn the techniques of meditation, to learn the techniques of pranayama and yoga, and appreciate that there is peace within you. And when you connect with that point, with that source within you, Sukriti, let me tell you, there's going to be very little to fret and fume about.
Very nicely said. Now, coming back to the book, because one of the things is there's so many areas of conflict. We want to understand that why was this effort on Sri Lanka such an important thing for Swamiji?
Yeah. Let me tell you that Gurudev, Sri Ravi Shankar ji, was appealed by several Sri Lankan Tamils, even in the 90s. In the early and the late 90s, when he would travel to US and Europe, where a large part of the Sri Lankan Tamil community that migrated to those countries because of the anti-Tamil riots that they faced in 1983. Thousands of them migrated to India. They went as refugees to Canada, to Europe, US. So those people would meet and call upon Gurudev to bring peace in that island nation. Now, for viewers who don't know, Sri Lanka had experienced almost a 26-year civil war.
Yes,
yeah?
very long.
And it went into 4 phases. It went into 4 phases, and Gurudev was very actively involved in trying to bring peace in that country, in trying to bring normalcy, and in trying to strengthen the resolve for harmony between the 2 communities, the two ethnic communities of the Tamils and the Sinhalese.
But Swamiji, seeing what's happening today, can there ever be continuous peace, or will we always be at war and peace?
I would say it's a mixed bag, Sukriti. You know, just like in our personal lives, we go through ups and downs. Yeah, isn't it? We go through good times, bad times. We go through good days, bad days. Yes or no? Yeah. See, look, we've come out of the bad period of a lockdown. We've come out of, I don't even want to mention it. We've come out of it with much hope, and we've bounced back with resilience. So all that I would say is I would come back and invite all of you, get back to a little bit of meditation every day. Just 10 minutes of meditation, not more, not less. 10, 15 minutes of meditation, more than enough to keep you grounded, to keep you stable, so that you can handle the madness, which is anyway going to be there in the world. The world is a mixed bag of madness and the fun and the humor, everything.
But yeah. Swamiji, we are wanting, and maybe we are been brainwashed with this idea that we should have world peace, that every place in the world should be in, and people should be allowed that opportunity to grow and to live and to function. And so it disturbs us that when we see that there is this, especially at a country level, the conflicts escalating.
Yeah, Sukriti, that's a lovely question. Let me correct you there. I would not want to say brainwashed with the idea of world peace. Yeah, I would like people to take an attitude of, let there be a good intention for peace everywhere. The moment, see, right now, this moment, as I'm talking to you, just have a light intention. Let there be peace everywhere.
Okay.
That's it.
It just starts with that.
Yeah. Our very intention, everything, every action that we do is backed by a certain intention. Yes or no? Yeah. Yes. Now you want to transact business. Now there's a certain intention. You want to make profit. Fair enough. Good. Point taken. Yeah. But even in the realm of peace, even the slightest intention, I tell you, when we say, let there be peace. Let there be peace. Yeah. Just an intention, Sukriti, I'll tell you, when everyone has that intention, bhai sab log shanti mein rahe. Let everyone live happily. Let everyone be healthy. Just that intention, I'll tell you, the collective intention comes together and does bring about good vibrations for people all over the world. So the idea of world peace is not an illusion. It's not a hoax. I'll tell you, it is a living reality. It is a living reality.
And we all have to do our little part of.
Yeah. In fact, let me tell you that Gurudev has started a campaign in the Europe called I Stand Up for Peace. And this is exactly what he's telling people. He's saying, just have that little intention for peace, saying that sab log sukh rahe, sab log sukhi rahe. Let everyone be peaceful. Let my enemies also be peaceful. We don't discriminate or not include them also. You know, I must remind you that in all our prayers, in all our chantings, in the Vedas, every scripture of ours in the Indian tradition begins with that intention for let there be peace. Let there be peace.
Very nice, very nice. I think if we just say these three things or these three sentences and repeat it every day, it will be just that start.
Absolutely.
Now, coming back to the book also, it's also a story about leadership. Tell us more about this and what was the leadership that was taken and how did that come about?
I was very fortunate to see and work up front with Gurudev while he was dealing with the conflict resolution initiative in Sri Lanka for several years. And I saw the skill that he brought to the table. I saw the wisdom, the wit, and the humor that he brought to the table in trying to break the ice between the two warring factions, between the LTT and the Sri Lankan government. So I would say real leadership, Sukriti, is going beyond your comfort zone.
Yes.
This for me is the first point of leadership. Going beyond your comfort zone and doing everything that it takes to bring peace to the situation. Now, this is what I saw in Gurudev while he was dealing with both the LTT, the Liberation Tigers of Tamil as they were called, and the Sri Lankan government, the President of Sri Lanka, the Defense Secretary of Sri Lanka, and so many other people whom he met. He met hundreds of people during this process. Yeah. So for me, that is the first sign of leadership, which is going beyond your comfort zone and taking responsibility.
Very nice, because
that's the numero uno point for me of real leadership.
I think a lot of management people could also learn a lot, not only policymakers, from this book.
Yeah.
So what is the one message, if you had to say, that you would like our viewers or people to get from watching this video? What would that be?
I won't want to kind of restrict someone to just take one message from this video. You can take multiple messages from this video because for the last 14, 15 minutes or whatever we've spoken, I want you to reflect on what I have said. Yeah. Like, for example, have an intention for peace.
Yes.
This, I would say, is a real keen insight I want you to take, especially today when a lot of stuff is happening all over the world. In Ukraine, in Sri Lanka also, which I call Sri Lanka my island hometown. And it's such a beautiful place, Sukriti. You know, the Tamils, the Sinhalese, such lovely people, such beautiful people. You know, it's very unfortunate to see that kind of situation there today. I would appeal to all of you to give it a thought and make an intention for peace in that country also.
Well, thank you. I think that's a very good start and something that at least we can all focus on and something that we can easily do.
Yeah.